Welcome back, you gorgeous weirdos. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm so glad you're here. So, if you have been on the hunt or thinking about or been wanting to expand your dip collection, especially for this summer, this is going to be for you. Holy smokes. This dip kit from Azure is so freaking beautiful. We're going to do a whole mani with it today. I'm going to show you everything that's in this box. Huge shout out and thank yous to Azurebeauty for sending over this dip kit and sponsoring today's video. I literally couldn't do what I do without the support of brands like Azurebeauty, so they rock, and let's show them some love. Anyways, we're going to get into this dip kit. So you do get instructions. If you are new to dipping, you can follow these instructions. I'll also leave a very beginner-friendly basic dip 101 video up in the eye for you to reference if you want to check that out, because we're going to do some different kind of things today. You get everything you need in this dip kit, including replacement brushes, a nail file, a buffing block, a cuticle pusher, literally all you need to do a dip manicure at home by yourself. The only other things that I'm going to use for this manicure are clear dip powder, which you don't necessarily need, but because we're doing a glitter and an ombre, I'm going to use a clear. I'm also going to grab an orange wood stick to clean around my cuticles, but that is it. It even comes with this handy dandy little tray in case you want to do a French manicure or if you want to do a pour over method. The tray is fantastic. I love those things for that. And it comes with this little fluffy brush. You can use this as a dusty brush for your excess dip powder, or I'm going to use it today to do my ombre. And we're going to do a very subtle, very beachy, perfect for summer, perfect for vacation, glitter ombre manicure. So while I figure out my life, here is what the entire kit looks like. If you want to see all the colors, it is the the most beautiful rainbow palette you could possibly find. These are the two colors I'm going to be using today. This really beautiful soft blue shade and this beautiful, it's a peachy undertoned nude, very sheer glitter, and the glitters are iridescent, and it reminded me of sand and stone sparkling near the water. So that's kind of the inspo that I had for today's manicure. So what we're going to do, it's going to be an ombre, but it's going to be a little bit different. We're going to do a diagonal ombre, and you don't have to do it this way. If you want to do a vertical or a horizontal, whatever kind of ombre you want to do, you can go ahead and do. But I was in the mood for something a little bit different, so we're going to do a horizontal. That's a lie. We're going to do a diagonal ombre today with these two colors, and we're going to get right into it. I think the first thing I'm going to do is start off with my base. I am using the Azurebeauty dip liquids, but I already have my big bottles out, so those are the ones I'm going to use. I like to save the other liquids that come in the kits for travel if I need to go somewhere. But you can use the dip liquids that come in the kit. They're the same exact liquids. So I'm going to start by applying the dip base coat to the entire nail, cuticle to free edge. Very thin, very even application. I want to make sure that I'm getting that base on the entire nail. And then I'm going to take my eyeshadow brush. The first thing I'm going to do is get the blue up near the cuticle area. But again, I'm going on a diagonal, and this does not need to be perfect. This is one of those nail designs where you can be as sloppy and careless as you feel like being. If it's a lazy day and you're just not into it, go ahead and do this, because it does not have to be perfect, as you're going to see, because I'm not. Perfection is an illusion. It doesn't exist. So I'm just going to get that blue on kind of half the nail in a diagonal fashion. And once I have it approximately where I want it, I'm going to tap off the excess by rotating my finger over. I don't want to tap off excess with my finger pointed down because the blue is going to get on the edge of the nail. So I rotate, tap off, go in with that second color and fill in the space by the free edge. Now, I've had a lot of people asking questions about dip liquids lately. Sometimes, depending on your climate, depending on your dip liquids, the dip base can dry quickly. If you're using, I don't have that problem with Azure. Azure has the perfect dry down time for me, especially for a nail art like this, doing an ombre. But if you are having issues with your dip base drying too quickly on the nail, what you can do is put down a coat of your dip base as if you were going to do a dip or a pour over or an ombre, but don't. Let it dry. Let it just sit and hang out and dry. Then apply your base again and move on to your dip process. I feel like that first coat of dip base can slow down the dry time of the next coat you put on. So that might be a remedy for you if you're having issues with your dip base coat drying too quickly. As you can see, I've moved on to the second nail, and I'm only going to show you 2 nails just for the sake of saving some time, but I'm going to do the same thing on all 5 nails. So again, I'm starting off at that cuticle area with that blue, doing a little tappy tap, getting a diagonal ombre going, and then I'm going to do the free edge of the nail with that beautiful beigey glitter, and then I'm going to dust off excess, and repeat the process, but I'm going to reverse the order. So on my second coat, which I'm going to let you kind of watch in silence, I will do the sandy beigey glitter color first, and then I'll fill in the rest of the nail with the blue. I feel like that just gives your blend a little bit more blendiosity. It makes that transition not as harsh, unless you want like a very predominant line between your colors. You could go ahead and repeat the process just as you did the first time, but I like it to be a little bit blendy, a little bit seamless of a transition from color to color. So I like to alternate my colors when I'm doing an ombre like this. But hey, they're your nails. You want to do what you want to do, go for it. YOLO, do your own thing. Who am I to tell you how to do your nails? They are your nails. I'm just letting you know how I did what I do. That's what did I just have a seizure? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and repeat the process, alternating those colors. I'm going to let you hang out and watch. I'm going to come back. We're going to activate, and I'm going to show you how to file and buff these bad boys. And a little bit later, we're going to add a little teeny tiny bit of nail art in the form of stamping and get these looking super beachy. I wanted to hop in real quick and just make sure you guys knew my mindset when it comes to this ombre. If you can notice, the glitter is kind of getting everywhere. And for this particular look, I don't care. I don't care because when you're at the beach and you're in that little area where the sand meets the water, there's sand under the water, right? And there's sand and stones and rocks and shells and all the things in the water. So I don't care that the glitter is getting everywhere because there are those things in water, right? Right. If you don't want glitter getting out of control, you can absolutely just do the blue first and then sprinkle on your glitter that way. The glitter won't contaminate your blue area, but I didn't care. I didn't care because this is the look that I was going for. So I just wanted to pop in and let you know where my head was at while I was doing this glitter ombre. Also, you can use a smaller eyeshadow brush, one that's not quite as fluffy, and that'll give you more control over your glitter powders. But again, I kind of love the way this came out in the end, so it wasn't a big deal to me, but if that's an issue for you, smaller eyeshadow brush, or just make sure you're doing the solid the solid color first. That way you don't get glitter all over the place. All right, I'm going to be back for activating and filing and buffing. I lied. I'm back now. I wanted to talk you through again what was going through my mind at this moment. Normally, if you have seen my recent content, I don't really do a whole lot of clear because I don't feel like it's necessary all the time. This is one of those moments where for me, it is necessary, especially over glitter. If you're using a glitter dip powder, and I'm not talking about a subtle shimmer or anything like that, I mean a glitter where there are pieces of glitter in your manicure, you're going to want to cap in clear. The clear will protect those glitters when you're filing and buffing, because if you file or buff over a glitter, it can cause that glitter to kind of break down. And typically the center of your glitter pieces are silver. And while that might be fine, if it's not the look you're going for, it's going to piss you off. So protect your colors, protect your glitter, throw a coat of clear over top, and then you can activate and file and buff and not have to worry about your glitters looking not glittery. Just kind of like a matte flat silver color, because that's going to make me kind of upset, especially when you're taking the time and doing this, and this is your self-care, this is something you want to do for you. You don't want to finish your manicure and go, ew, this looks terrible, why the glitter is not glittering? So cap and clear if you're using a glitter, and you don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to remove all the excess clear. I'm going to activate. I'll finish all the nails off camera, and then I'm going to come back and show you a little bit of filing and buffing. So here is what the entire hand is now looking like. I'm going to go ahead and activate the rest of these nails, but can we talk about this glitter? Holy smokes, it is so freaking beautiful. It's totally giving me like sunset on the beach, just that golden sand sparkling in the water. Oh my God, it's so pretty. So anyway, we're going to get into filing and buffing. I'm going to take the cuticle pusher that came in this kit, gently push my skin back so I can get in that little space between the nail and the skin and round out that cuticle area in case I had any mishaps with the liquids. This application for me was so seamless and smooth, as it usually is when I'm using Azurebeauty products. But I'm going to clean up around the perimeter of the nail, straighten out the free edge of the nail. I'm going to do that to all of the nails before giving them a once over with a buffing block. Of course, if you had any kind of dip disaster or you feel like you need a little bit more filing, you can do as much or as little filing as you see fit. For me, this was, again, super duper easy and seamless. So that's all the filing I'm going to do. And then I'm going to top coat the nails before we do the stamping. I know that can seem kind of counterproductive to top coat and be finished and then do stuff on top, but because I'm going to be doing stamping with nail polish, I wanted to make sure that I had a protective barrier over my nail before I go in with stamping. That way, in the event something gets smudged up with my stamping, I can remove it with acetone, and with the top coat, the dip top coat over my nails, they're protected from the acetone. I don't have to worry about ruining my nails with acetone. So I'm going to do my dip top coat routine. I will walk you through that, and then we're going to do a little bit of stamping and get these ultra beachy. So I got the entire hand filed, shaped, buffed. It is looking absolutely gorgeous. At this point, you can get up and wash your hands, get rid of all that dust from filing. I am not because I'm at my nail desk and I don't feel like moving. So I'm going to grab some alcohol and my scrubby brush and just remove any of that dust and debris from filing before we start top coating. So if you are new to dip nails and you haven't done dip top coat, or if you're struggling with dip top coat and need a little guidance, I got you. We're going to let this air dry for a second because I don't want alcohol on my nail when I'm trying to top coat. That is probably not going to play well with activator. But the first step to dip top coat is activator. Activator is what cures or dries or hardens your dip base and your dip top. So your dip top coat will not dry properly unless the nails have been activated. That's right, we activate twice, once before we file and once before we top coat. So I'm just going to throw on one layer coat, what have you, of activator, let that sit and dry for just a minute, not even. I find with Azurebeauty liquids, I don't need to be meticulous and count down the time. I mean, I wait for a few seconds, up to a minute, I guess, in my mind at least, and then I'm going to proceed. I'm going to take a dry paper towel / lint-free wipe, whatever you have on hand, and I'm just going to rub off any activator residue that might be sitting on top of that nail, because if I skip this step, I am likely going to contaminate my top coat brush because of that activator sitting on top of the nail. So I just want to make sure I'm not contaminating my liquids by keeping things as clean as possible. And it has to be a dry paper towel. It can't have alcohol or water or anything on top of it. Dry paper towel. Now we can get in with the top coat. So top coat is going to be 3 quick swipes across the nail for your first coat. Again, this is to avoid any contamination of your top coat brush with that activated nail. And then I'm going to wipe the brush off on a paper towel before going back in the bottle and moving on to the next nail. So 1, 2, and 3, and then wipe the brush off, back in the bottle. This has never failed me, ever. I have never contaminated my liquids when I'm doing this way. So if this is an issue you are struggling with, I mean, if you need to follow it to a T though. You can't just, follow it a little bit. This is what you gotta do to prevent your liquids from contaminating. Once I have the last nail done, and you're only doing 5 at a time, if you're doing both your hands, do 1 hand at a time with your top coat. Once you have the 5th nail done, you can start looking at that first nail again, and if it's starting to look a little dull, a little bit wrinkly, that is your tell that you are ready to go in with your second coat. So we're going to do the second coat. Usually I do it the same way as I did the first coat. I try not to over manipulate the product because it is an air dry product, but if you need to do an extra swipe across the nail, you totally can. Cap your free edge, that way your nails last and they don't chip or crack or break. I didn't because my nails are super short and I'm going to get dip top coat everywhere. But also, I don't wear my nails for longevity. I wear them to share with you guys. So these are going to pop off in a couple of days anyway, so I didn't bother capping my free edge. But for longevity purposes, you'll want to cap your free edge. I am continuing to wipe my top coat brush on that paper towel in between every nail, again, to avoid contamination, although the risk of that is minimal at this stage. It's really only the first coat you need to worry about, but me, I'm a little neurotic, so I want to make sure that I am not contaminating my liquids, hence the wiping off. We're going to let this sit and dry down for 2 to 3 minutes, depending on your liquids and your climate, but for me, it's usually 2 to 3 minutes, and then we can move on with the stamping. So I have this adorable stamping plate and it's got the cutest little starfish on it. So I'm just going to throw some white stamping polish on this stamp, pick up the little starfish, and I'm going to add 2 of these to each nail and give it that little extra bit of beachiness. And it's going to look so freaking cute in the end. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to do 1 stamp on each nail first. And then I decided it needed a second starfish because the starfish needs a friend. We can't just have a lonely starfish on the nail. Friend, spouse, I don't know, business partner. The starfish needed a buddy. So I'm going to put 2 on each nail, and then I'm going to go over that with my smudge-free top coat. Now, you can throw another nail polish top coat atop, or you can even activate and do another coat of dip top if you want. But because those nails are so shiny because of the dip top coat, all I needed to do was the smudge-free top coat, and they were good to go. So I'm going to get that on. I'm going to let the smudge-free dry down for a few minutes. And then these nails are going to be done. So everything is now dry and glossy and beautiful, and I am literally obsessed with how these came out. They are so freaking cute. Again, these are perfect for a beach day. They're perfect for your next vacation. They're perfect just because it's a Wednesday or whatever day it is. It's definitely not a Wednesday. I don't upload on Wednesdays. You get where I'm going. I'm going to finish up with a little bit of oil per my usual. And this set is in the books. You guys will have to let me know what you think down below. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with me today. I hope the rest of your day is as beautiful as you are, and I will catch you in the next one. Love you, bye.